This museum is a beautiful tribute to so many American heroes. It's amazing to see. We did a pretty comprehensive tour, but not comprehensive enough. So, Lonnie, I'll be back. I told you that. Because I could stay here for a lot longer, believe me. It's really incredible. This tour was a meaningful reminder of why we have to fight bigotry, intolerance, and hatred in all of its very ugly forms.
That was Donald Trump after going to the Smithsonian. And you might be surprised by that he was so touched by the exhibits, I guess, on slavery and Jim Crow and all that it reminded him that bigotry is alive and real and that we need to understand it. You might be a little bit less surprised by the comments when I tell you that was all the way back in 2017. I guess before he decided, screw black voters. I'm gonna stop pretending that I care about them. And I'm just gonna do the racist culture wars and see if that gets me more white voters, I suppose, because that's very much what he's doing right now. No longer are these exhibits in the Smithsonian a great reminder of the legacy of bigotry. Now it's woke. And it's got to die for that reason. And so he's moving forward with the whitewashing of the Smithsonian, the elimination of accurate American history, the replacement with Donald Trump's fascist, politically correct history that you're allowed to show. And he put up this message saying, the museums throughout Washington, but all over the country, are woke. The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything is discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future. We're not gonna allow this to happen. Woke is broke, we're hot. Yeah, you know, like it can be really depressing when a museum's like, slavery was bad, and you're like, talk about the good part of it or whatever. That's what Donald Trump now has to say. Forget about the legacy of bigotry. Forget about understanding what actually happened in America. Feelings don't care about the Smithsonian's facts. Sharon, what do you think?
No, and the problem here is, and get there while you can, it's probably too late, I guess, is that we're actually training, indoctrinating a whole new generation who's actually, through no fault of their own, gonna grow up, go to these places, and actually believe this nonsense that he's spewing. They're gonna forget important figures on every side. Every figure in American history is important because of what it teaches us, good or bad. And he's just erasing it. And it's sad because once this thing, this cancerous, this malignant thing called Trump and people who just follow him blindly are gone, we're not gonna be able to get all this stuff back. It's gonna change forever.
I mean, my hope would be they're gonna have to take it all down because the political correct police or whatever are gonna sweep through, just put it down in the basement or whatever. In a couple of years, we can teach history again. You can have art again. All of this stuff that, not just in America right now, but to be clear, in every fascist regime, they've always cracked down on this stuff. It's as stereotypical as you can imagine. Eventually will return to America as we thought we knew it, a free country with free speech that cares about the truth. And we can teach that stuff again, but unfortunately we're not gonna get that until MAGA is gone, because MAGA does not like the truth. They like feeling good. Their feelings are all that matters. And they'll lie to you about it. Charlie Kirk tweeted in response to this, culture matters, history matters. And I'm gonna stop him right there. I'm not gonna read the rest of his BS because he doesn't believe that. He doesn't know history. He doesn't care about history. He doesn't care about what goes into a museum exhibit. He's one of the most incurious people alive in America today. What Charlie Kirk demands, and has always demanded, is to be told a version of history that makes him feel good, or that pleasures his donors, because after all, he's a creation of billionaires. He's there to take a generation of Americans and to get them to turn away from education, to turn away from truth and reality, and instead just cling to fantasies that feel good. An idea of America that's always been successful. It's never had any problems whatsoever. I mean, you're focusing on the fact that slavery is bad. What about prosperity? I mean, why not just do an exhibit on how slave owners made lots of money? I can see people just streaming into museums to find out about how much wealth slave owners were able to generate by breaking up families and raping millions of people and beating and killing them and all of that. Why not focus on the good of it? That is what they actually want. And by the way, there are people slamming this move. Sam Youngman says Trump wants to cover up slavery like it's in the Epstein files, which I respect. And Mehdi Hassan says, we've normalized having a toddler in the White House who types in caps and uses random quote marks. Hottest, how is any of the below normal? How are we okay with this? He wants to celebrate our current country in a museum. His brain is too broken to understand what a museum is. We have a president who doesn't want us to cover in our museums how bad slavery was. Was it not bad? Or just a little bad? Or the badness is not allowed to be mentioned? How is this not a huge political scandal? Imagine if Reagan or Bush had said this, FFS. And it should be. It's not because we understand that this movement is explicitly white nationalist. That's all it is. They want their racism and they don't want it to be pointed out. That's at the core of them. Sharon, any other thoughts?
No, I was thinking as you were reading Mehdi Hassan's X posting, he will sooner be wiped out. I mean, we've already seen certain careers take a hit over conflicts. And when Trump calls, if he notices that and says, I don't really want him around anymore, it's likely to happen, as sad as that makes me to say.
Yeah. Oh, no, I have no doubt that at the very least he received thousands of calls for him to be deported or whatever for expressing his opinion. A reminder that freedom of speech just does not exist. And I'm not talking about how they would complain earlier about freedom of speech, that like somebody said I was racist. No, I mean the government is cracking down the actual violations of free speech. That's the world we live in.